Hello, everyone. My name's Naomi, and welcome back to the Becoming You series, episode 2, where we cultivate discipline, consistency, we find our true identity, and we walk in a purpose driven life.
Go, baby, go, baby, go, baby. Hope that God forgives your sins, your sins, your sins, your sins. Go, baby, go, baby. Gotta keep moving on, even though you're not.
Episode 2, how's everyone feeling? Because the more and more I start recording these series, I get so excited for what we're about to talk about today. So, how was everyone's Christmas? How are you guys doing? Please comment down below because I need to know how your Christmas went because mine was amazing. And I hope you guys enjoyed the festive season with your family. And I hope you guys received all the presents that you wanted and more. But on today's topic, we'll be talking about the shift season, the transition phase, when God is calling you to get into isolation. So, many of us may not know when we're in transition phase, and many of us may not know when God is calling us into our shift season. We get so caught up in life, in the bad habits, in the partying, in the going out, in the having fun, in the working. Listen, the list goes on. And then we come to the realization that sometimes we do come to the realization, and sometimes we don't come to the realization that we're not working on ourselves internally. And once you master the key of working on yourself internally, trust me, you unlock a new version of yourself. You unlock a new level of yourself. I'm here to tell you that there is a time for everything under the sun. And one of the scriptures I'm about to read out to you will make you realize this as well. So it's Ecclesiastes chapter 3, verse 1. And it states, "For everything there is a season and a time for every matter under the heavens. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill, a time to heal, a time to break down, and a time to build up." So, guys, from that already, you need to understand that your time is now. You've done what you've done, and it's time for you to get into that shift season. It's time for you to get into isolation. It's time for you to build yourself up. And yeah, so it's funny because I was reading on this scripture and it just resonated with me so much because if you guys haven't listened to my testimony, I would want you guys to go back and listen to it because honestly, when you think about what I was doing at the time where I was going out, I was having fun, I was doing crazy things, I was drinking, guys, I was living it up. And then there were subtle times where, because I believe that God will send people in human form to actually help you, right? So that person was my mum. My mum always used to lecture me. My mum always used to tell me, "Naomi, stop doing this, stop going out with your car, stop drinking, you need to start acting right. You need to start acting right." So yeah, I'm just here to tell you that there is a time for everything, and maybe God is calling you into your shift season with the subtle things that He's telling you, but you are ignoring them. But then sometimes God will put a life changing situation into your life, and that will change you for the better. And that is what happened to me with my car accident. I feel like from when that happened, I came to the realization that I had to change my life. But when I did realize that, that's when the battle began. That is when it began. That's when it began. And it was hard. It was hard for me to leave that life. Trust me, it was hard. I was battling. I was falling back into my old ways. Guys, I was doing crazy things. Let me just put it out there. I was. But now that I've started to, get back into my word, I've started to pray, I've started to realize that there actually is a time. There's a time for when you need to just get into isolation and work on yourself. As I said, when you master the key, when you master the beauty of working on yourself internally, guys, you become unrecognizable. You become a completely different person. And I want to help you guys in your shift season to realize when it is time for you to get into that time. So, before I get into some of the signs as to when God is calling you into your shift season, I just wanted to touch on some of the reasons as to why some people may ignore their callings and some people may not want change in their life. So, when you think about it, in life, sometimes we get too comfortable. We must admit, we get too comfortable because we see that as our safe haven, we see that as our home, right? So, when you think about it, when you are comfortable, you know your surroundings, you know the environments that you're in, you have the same habits, you have the same routines, and that becomes your lifestyle, that becomes normal to you. But as soon as change is introduced, some sort of anxiety comes upon us. We start overthinking, we start worrying, you know. But then at the same time, some people may fear this because they feel as if, maybe if you switch up on people, some people may think that you're switching up on them. Or maybe if you switch up, you know, you may lose some of the friends that you used to have, some of the friends that you used to do these things that you was doing things with, and so on and so forth. But I'm here to tell you guys, and you guys need to understand that comfortability can keep you stagnant, and comfortability does not give you the space to grow. And comfortability will keep you in the same position that you are in. And sometimes comfortability can be a bad thing. So it's time to get out of that comfort zone. It's time to push yourself. And once again, it's time for you to just build yourself on a whole different level. So subconsciously as well, sometimes we see people doing better. We see people achieving things that we may not have been achieving. We often see things on social media, this person's doing better than myself, and I'm not gonna lie, it will make you feel some sort of way because now you're thinking to yourself, am I doing much? Am I actually working on myself? And this is what we do, guys. And the reason as to why we do these things is because we're not secure in ourselves. Trust me, those people that are progressing the way they're progressing in life is because they took the time out away from people. They probably went away for like a year, a couple months, whatever the case may be. But they sat down and they took a decision and they worked on their self. And this is what I want you guys to do. If you feel as if, you're getting the same results in life, you're going through the same things in life, you're experiencing the same things in life, you're attracting the same people in life, you feel like the people around you are not like-minded or, they're not willing to grow, guys, we need to start thinking again. We need to start thinking again and we need to start thinking, is it time for you to, ghost a bit, ghost a bit and, just truly work on yourself. So now I'm about to go into the signs as to when God is calling you into your transition phase. So there'll be 5 major points. So sorry. So if I'm looking down, I'm just reading off my notes here that I have. So the 5 signs as to when God is calling you into your shift season. Number 1, you will have an uncomfortable spirit. When I say an uncomfortable spirit, you will start having this, spirit of guilt and also known as conviction. You will start feeling bad for certain things that you're doing. And sometimes you may not even understand because you never felt bad about what you was doing. So now you start having this spirit of guilt over you. Okay. You start having a spirit of emptiness. Your spirit starts to feel empty. Okay. It's not what you're doing is not fulfilling your spirit anymore. It doesn't satisfy you the way you were being satisfied before. It don't give you that pleasure anymore. Okay. And then you start having a lot of self-reflection. Sometimes subconsciously I do it. Sometimes I don't even realize that I'm doing it, but I start staring into space and I just start thinking like, damn, like, is this my life? Guys, let me tell you a funny story. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. I'm gonna tell you guys a story. So recently I went to Paris, right? For my cousin's wedding and whatnot. And then me and my cousin, Joanna, you guys may see her one day in these videos, but me, my cousin Joanna, and my sister, we went out to an event that night. And guys, that night I didn't drink much. I just probably had sips of alcohol and whatnot. But I was sober. I can say I was sober, you know? So I remember, guys, in the event, in the party, I literally just sat down. I just sat down. Everyone else is partying, literally the DJ is going in and whatnot. So I'm literally just sitting down and I'm just thinking to myself, God, is this my life? Is this my life? Like, when it's just tunnel vision, like you're just looking at everyone else doing their thing in the party, but it's just you that's actually sitting down, literally section in the event. We had a section in the event with other people. And I'm just thinking, God, is this my life? Like, and I'm just looking at everyone. And yeah, guys, when I tell you, when you're sober, you see so much more. You see so much more in these parties. You see so much more. Like, I want you guys one day to go to an event, not drink, just stay sober and just analyze the whole room. And then you guys are going to know what I mean. So that was me. I was just deep in my life. I was just like, God, is this my life? There's no way. I said, there's no way. And funny enough, I looked to my left and I see my cousin Joanna doing the same thing. I was just like, damn, like, God is really hitting us right now. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, honestly, it's just crazy. But that is how you start getting. But you wouldn't realize it. Do you know what I mean? You wouldn't realize it. But that is how you start getting, literally. Um, so yeah, you start having a lot of self-reflection. And then yeah, another thing is that things are just not working out for you anymore. Whether it's in your job, whether it's in your career, um, yeah, whether it's in the environment that you're in, things are just not working out for you anymore. So that's number one. You start having an uncomfortable spirit. Number two, dissatisfaction. So you begin to notice that all the things you were doing do not satisfy you anymore, as I said. So that could be drinking. That can be, I don't know, you're probably sleeping around. I'm just going to put it out there. The parties, smoking, I don't know what else, guys, but you just think about that yourself and just be honest with yourself. What you're doing is not satisfying you anymore. Okay. So you start to notice that there's more to life. You start to notice, that's a big one. You start to notice that there's more to life because you get caught up in a routine and you start thinking, damn, like, I'm actually doing the same thing every weekend. Like, you're not exploring enough. You're just doing the same thing every weekend, seeing the same people, and you're thinking, damn, like, is this what I'm really doing? Okay. So then, this is another one. The body is there, but the mind is not. So physically, you're there, but then your mind is wandering. Your mind is wandering, and honestly, you just can't do it anymore. So that's number two. So we've got number one, you have an uncomfortable spirit. Number two, dissatisfaction. Moving on to number three, the vision will never match your reality. So what it is, God sees you in a high pedestal. He sees you on a high pedestal. He sees you in places that you don't even see yourself in right now. But then you come to the realization that, God, I know you have better things in my life lined up. But then you look at the environment that you're in, it's not adding up. And it will never add up because God sees you on a high pedestal. But right now in your life where you are, It's not making sense. It's not matching up. So yeah, that's number three. Your vision will never match your reality. Moving on to number four. Eye-opening situations start to occur. Sometimes in life you may ignore the subtle callings. I did. I'm guilty of that. Listen, I ignored the subtle callings. I thought, I'm living my best life. I'm young. I'd said to my mum, I'm young. I'm young. Let me enjoy my life. But guys, look where that led me. And then, yeah, the biggest eye-opening situation happened in my life. And honestly, that was the final straw. That was the final straw. So yeah, eye-opening situations will happen in your life where you just take a decision and say to yourself, like, nah, enough is enough. Enough is enough. So yeah, that's number four. Eye-opening situations will occur. Number five, the spiritual battle begins. And when I say the spiritual battle, I mean between your spirit and your flesh. God always mentions it in the Bible that your flesh will always be weaker than the spirit. It will always be weaker than the spirit. But then you need to get into a position where, like, your flesh dies. It dies behind you. Everything, like the physical aspect of yourself, just dies behind you so that your spirit can take control now. And once your spirit takes control, guys, you start doing things that you never thought you was doing. You start avoiding certain places. You start talking different. You start acting different. Guys, this is true. This is so true. And I'm going to read a scripture to you guys as well. So let me just get up. I'm so sorry. Let me just get up. Yeah, so Romans 8, verse 5, and it reads, "For those who live according to the flesh set their minds on the things of the flesh, but those who live according to the Spirit set their minds on the things of the Spirit. For to set your mind on the flesh is death, but to set the mind on the Spirit is life and peace. For the mind that is set on flesh is hostile to God, for it does not submit to God's law. Indeed, it cannot. Those who are in the flesh cannot please God." That alone says a lot. Like, that to me, it just shows that when you walk in flesh, you become so distant from God. You become so distant, like you become so far away from God. Obviously, God, He's everywhere, right? But your spirit becomes so far away from Him because you live by the flesh. The flesh is weak. The flesh loves it. I'm just gonna put it out. I'm just gonna put it out there. The flesh loves what you're doing. So now you begin to feed your flesh more and more with the things that you do. You begin to feed your flesh more and more. So now your flesh is craving it. And when you stop doing the things that you're doing to feed your flesh, what does the flesh do? It becomes hungry. It becomes hungry and it is craving for you to do those things that you were doing. So you need to get in a position where now your spirit your spirit is way more powerful than your flesh. And trust me, like when you're living in your flesh, your spirit starts to die slowly and slowly. It'll always be there, trust me, it'll always be there, but it starts to die slowly and slowly and slowly. It's because you don't feed your spirit. You don't feed your spirit. So yeah. So that's number five. The spiritual battle will begin. You start to notice that you are doing things on different heights now, in different levels now. You're starting to do things at a higher level now, at a higher frequency. Guys, look at the way I was going to parties. Guys, when I tell you it wasn't a joke, I was going to every party under the sun. Like, trust me, I was going to every single party under the sun. I was doing the most. I was doing the most. But that was the spiritual battle. That was the spiritual battle. Even after my car accident, guys, it didn't stop me. It didn't stop me. I was going out like crazy. I was still going out like crazy. But that's because that day I took a decision to change my life. But the flesh said, no way. The flesh said, you're not doing that. You're not doing that. You're going out. Okay. You're going to feed me. You're going to go out. So, yeah, that's the final point. Okay. So, now to sum up, we've got 5 points, 5 signs as to when God is calling you into your transition phase. And that is number 1, you get an uncomfortable spirit. Number 2, you get a spirit of dissatisfaction. Number 3, the vision will never match up to the reality. Number 4, you have eye-opening situations. And number 5, the spiritual battle begins. Guys, when I tell you that you are the driver of your own future, I mean it. Think about a car. The car's not going anywhere if there's no driver to move that car. And that is the same for your life. That is the same for your future. You need to realize that you are the driver of your future. And your life can't change if you don't want it to. But once you take the decision for your life to change, I'm telling you again, you become unrecognizable. My ladies, my guys, you become unrecognizable. And it will come to a point where not only other people are realizing that, but yourself, you've even come to realize that. Like, wow, like I'm even talking different now. I'm even walking different. I'm dressing different, I'm encountering new people. Guys, it is something else. It is something else. But anyways, so now that you have noticed that God has called you into your transition phase, I just want to encourage you that now your flesh has died behind you, right? Now you want your flesh to die behind you. And I'm going to say now it has to come to a point where you chasing the ideal you is tunnel vision. It is tunnel vision, and it's the only thing that you are worrying about at this point right now. So I just want to say to you guys, do not look back. Do not look back. And when I say this, I want you guys to say goodbye. Say goodbye to that life. Say goodbye to the things that you was doing. Say goodbye, because now you're about to enter something bigger and better. You're about to elevate on a high level. So focus on who you want to be. Okay. Let the ideal you be your driving force. Let the ideal you be your driving force, because once it is your driving force, no one can come and distract you. No one can come and distract you, guys. And sometimes you need to sit back and reflect. You need to reflect now on the environment that you're in, and you need to start thinking, are my peers encouraging my change? If your peers are not encouraging your change, I'm going to say it clearly for you guys. If your friends are not encouraging your change, think again. Think again about the people that you are hanging out with, because that's okay if they want to stay stagnant. That's okay with them. But one day they will come to a realization that they want to change themselves. But if you at this point right now have come into your shift season and the friends that you are around are now moving different with you, let it be. Let it be, because it's called the period of isolation for a reason. God is about to align people in your life that are going to help you get to where you need to get to. You need to see it as God is now making space for new people in your life, because that's what he's about to do, right? So now you need to start reassessing the situation. Now you need to start reassessing your environments now, the people that you're hanging around with now, because this is where it starts, guys. Don't fall into the trap of going back. Okay. So now I said, ideal you is your tunnel vision. It has to be your tunnel vision at this point, because honestly, once you're in tunnel vision, trust me, there's nothing, no one or nothing is about to stop you at this point right now. So yeah, start surrounding yourself with some like-minded people. You know me, I've just been praying to God a lot, about life and, about the people that I'm around and, so on and so forth. And I already know that God is about to do wonders. And I'm so excited for what He's about to do in my life. And He can do the same in yours. So, yeah, guys, that's what it is. You need to become hungry. You need to become hungry for change. You need to become so hungry for change to the point where like you won't even recognize yourself anymore. You won't even recognize yourself anymore. You will start looking at your old memories. Guys, when I say I was looking back at my old memories on my phone, I wiped my phone. I wiped my phone, guys, because that was not me. That was not me. I wiped my phone, guys. And it's gonna get to that point. It's gonna get to that point. But yeah, this is the shift season. And all I can say to encourage you guys is do not look back. You're about to enter into something that is bigger and better for you because God has written this down for your life and it's about to be the most amazing experience that you're about to embark on right now. So yeah. So once you honestly, my guys, my ladies, once you experience this internal change, you start attracting people that God has aligned for you now. You start getting into places that you thought you would never enter. You start talking with wisdom. My ladies, I want everything that comes out of your mouth to be filled with wisdom. My guys, when you're stepping into rooms, trust me, you're lighting up that room. And that's what I want for my ladies and for my guys. I want you guys to become transformed people. But that's the shift season, guys. So now I just want you to think, what is it that you want to work on? Because this is a time for honesty. We can't sugarcoat it anymore, guys, because you know what you're doing, right? So now I just want you guys to actually think, what is it that I want to work on? Be honest. Be truly honest with yourself because trust me, the truth, the honesty will set you free, okay? Is it lust? Is it your temper? Is it, you want to work on your celibacy? Um, it can be anything, your bad habits, it can be anything, guys. This is your time to think. This is your time to think because that's what I did. I took my time. I sat down and I said, Naomi, you need to change a lot of things about yourself. And guys, I was the most honest with myself. I think that's the most honest I've ever been with myself because sometimes I tend to like say, I try to give myself the benefit of the doubt sometimes. And yeah, that didn't work. So now it was time for me to actually be hardcore on myself and tell myself, yo, Naomi, you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing way too much with the going out. Damn, like you need to calm down a bit. And trust me, it will hurt you. It will hurt you guys. It hurt me. It hurt me so much. I was like, wow, like, you know, maybe I am going out too much. Maybe I am doing these things too much. Maybe I am drinking too much. And it's funny because my body had to tell me that. My flesh already told me that because the way I was so slow in myself, my mind literally, I had brain fog because I couldn't concentrate anymore because of the amount of alcohol I was drinking. So yeah, just be honest with yourself. But those are the signs for when God is calling you into your shift season. And honestly, it's about to be beautiful for you guys. So what I want to say right now is make sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on those post notifications so that you guys know when I post next on the Becoming You series, and subscribe, like and share. You guys are truly amazing and I can't wait to be back to talk to you guys. But this is even the last Sunday of the year. 2024, I just pray that 2024 is about to be your best year yet, covered with blessings, covered with, beautiful people, and just honestly, blessings that just overflow. And honestly, I just can't wait. for your transformation. I can't wait for when you come out of that, when you come out of that transition season, you're about to be a new person. And take this time now, honestly. Take this time now because you need to remember that, honestly, all those things will still be there. Once you come out of that transition, you will notice that all these things will still be there and you will just be thinking, nah, that ain't for me. That ain't for me. But honestly, guys, thank you so much again. This is the Becoming You series, episode 2. And honestly, like, share, comment, and I'll see you guys soon. Goodbye.